Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, when are we beginning?
Good evening, sir. Sir, class didn't
Evening, ma'am.
started,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am. Yeah. Sir,
Okay.
Nitin sir, please start the program.
Yes, madam. Yes. Okay, sir, shall we start? So, okay, good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
everyone. Good evening, everyone. Warm greetings to all respected principals, the resource persons, research scholars, and dear participants joining from across India and abroad. This program is jointly organized by Government Degree College Autonomous Narsampet Warangal and SKVT Government Degree College Rajamahendravaram East Godavari in association with EduUMENTUU powered by Sharayu, EduPro and Venkat Tribe. At the very outset, I sincerely thank our Chief Patron, Professor Dr. Mallam Naveen, and our patron, Dr. D.V. Trupaniam, Principal Government Degree College, SKVT, Rajamahendravaram, for their constant support and motivation. A heartfelt gratitude to our co-convener, Dr. Y. Swarnasri, Head of the Department, Government Degree College, SKVT, Rajamahendravaram, East Godavari, and all the members of the organizing committee for their network, for the teamwork and support. No, the today's first session leads by Dr. Peter Baligraham Pavulu. I would like to give a brief introduction of today's resource person. Dr. Peter Baligraham Pavulu is an assistant professor of English at Nizam College, Usmania University, Hyderabad. He holds a PhD in English language education from Usmania University and a PGDT from the English and Foreign Language University, Hyderabad. His teaching and research focus on English language education, communication skills, and professional development for students. with a special emphasis on empowering learners from marginalized communities. He has published widely in UGC tier-listed and international peer-reviewed journals and contributed book chapters to Springer, forthcoming. His recent works address oral communication, reflective writing, and digital literacy in higher education. Dr. Pagulu has presented papers at several international conferences and has been actively engaged in mentoring students for academic and professional growth. A qualified APSET scholar and a member of English Language Teachers Association of India, he combines academic scholarship with practical teaching strategies. His current research interests include speaking skills in English, language pedagogy, reflective practices, and integrating digital tools in English education. Sir's today's topic is plagiarism, demystify why and how to cite sources. Now, I would like to hand over the platform to you, sir. Please welcome. Thank you, Varina.
Good evening everyone. Sir, could you see the screen? I've shared a PPT. Could you please confirm?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Visible, sir.
Warm welcome to you, sir.
Okay, madam. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really thank the organizers, Rahimuddin sir and the team for calling me. And it's my privilege to share the knowledge which I have in this area. Thank you so much. And without further delay, let's get started with the topic for today. That is about plagiarism, the most sought after topic today in today's world. We have been coming across news in various parts of the world, even in India, in several universities, about plagiarism. Recently, there was news on, in a Pondicherry University. I've just Googled and I found that in Pondicherry University, professor, he's associate professor, he is accused of publishing students' work without the consent, which is considered as plagiarism. And even professor from Harvard University, world famous Harvard University, his academic chapter and 2 books, okay, they are also, being accused of plagiarized. And then there are several other cases as such. Even in Kolkata, schools, they gave homeworks to students and they used AI, and the AI has been detected. And the cases are appearing every day in different parts of the country and even in the world. So this has become a very serious issue. With the advent of technology, we have progressed significantly in the areas of research. In terms of knowledge acquisition, there are so many AI tools, and unlike before, there are so many other resources which would provide us a lot of information. But when we are trying to write something original, these things have become a very serious issues. Right, so let's get started with today's topic, that is plagiarism. Let me quickly take you through a few samples which are displayed on the screen. Okay, we have 5 scenarios there. These are the questions for you. So a student copies a paragraph from a website into their assignment without quotation marks and without mentioning the website. So is that a plagiarism? Is it considered as a plagiarism? A student,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is considered as plagiarism. Yes, okay, thank you so much. So, and then we'll move on to the second scenario. A student takes a paragraph from a book, changes a few words, which is a usual form of plagiarism. Most of us, we usually do, I mean, the people who are into this research, they usually do. A student takes a paragraph from a book, changes a few words, okay, and synonyms, he replaces it with synonyms, but keeps the original sentence structure in the same order. Okay, and does not give any citation. So will it be considered as plagiarism?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is considered as plagiarism. Thank you so much. And then a student uses two exact sentences from an article, puts them in quotation marks, and gives a full citation in the reference list. Two exact sentences from the article. Yeah. And then puts them in quotation marks and gives a full citation in the reference list. Is that considered as plagiarism?
No, sir.
No, sir. No,
sir.
no.
Okay. So it is not considered as plagiarism, right? Okay, so there's something technical here, after, mentioning the lines in quotations, it should also be accompanied by, a tag or, within brackets, the source has to be included. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't include that source and just the quotation marks, and even if you include that source, in the reference list, it doesn't count, right? So it has to appear in the two places, the source in the sentences and also in the reference list. Okay, so that is a point here. And then fourth one, a student reads an article, then writes the ideas in their own words, but does not mention the author or year anywhere. A student reads an article, then writes the ideas in their own words, but does not mention the author or year anywhere. Will it be considered as plagiarism?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is considered as plagiarism. Thank you. Yeah. And then a student writes, the Earth orbits the sun once every year and gives no citation. Will it be considered as plagiarism?
No, sir. No, it's not plagiarism.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. The Earth orbits the sun once every year. It is a universal, truth. We use this sentence quite often in our day-to-day interactions, and even we cite this as an example in grammar and several other cases. The point here is, this is again plagiarism. Why is it plagiarism? Even if it is an original sentence produced by the student, it can even, be shown as plagiarized content. Why is it so? We'll talk about it in the following slides. Okay, so what is plagiarism? Just give me a second. I could see, I could listen to some noise. I just want to.
Intellectual theft, sir. Without somebody, without acknowledging the sources that we have used, and if you use them, then we can consider them as plagiarism.
Yes, madam. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir, please.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Thank you so much. Okay, right. So what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is the use of someone else's words, ideas, or creative work or intellectual property, as rightly mentioned by madam, without proper acknowledgement or permission, and presenting it as our own original work. Okay, so that is plagiarism. We use somebody's work or ideas or creative work, okay, and we use them, you use those ideas or phrases or words, sentences in our work without properly acknowledging them. So that is considered as plagiarism. Okay, Right. So what happens if we do that? It violates academic honesty, and it is also a breach to intellectual integrity. Right. All plagiarism is not intentional. Sometimes accidentally we do that. Okay. So we'll look at those things and how, some plagiarism happens unintentionally very soon. Okay. Right. So there are different types of misconducts in academic settings. A few are listed on the screen. One among them is the plagiarism part. We all know about the rest of them. Cheating, students, they copy from each other in the examinations. Okay. And there is one more category called collusion. Okay. So they work with others. Students will be given assignments, but without permission of the teacher, without the knowledge of teacher, what they do is they work with others, maybe their parents or maybe with their seniors, and they do it. Okay, so this is also a misconduct, academic misconduct. Okay, and what is falsification? Okay, so this is manipulating data or citations or academic records. Okay, so manipulating data or citations which do not actually exist, or using the citations with slight modifications. Okay, so that is falsification, right? And then contract teaching. Okay, people give money to some people and ask them to complete the assignments, and the job is done, right? And then fabrication, we already know. They create some sources. This is what usually happens when you generate data in AI tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity. If you generate some sort of a data and try to bring it into your research paper, what happens is AI tools, they invent data or sources which never exist. They actually do not exist, but they cite them in their works, and we unknowingly send the same papers to the publishers, and our papers get rejected. Our papers will be tagged as plagiarized. Okay, so these AI tools which we are using, let it be ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other tool, whatever we are using, they do not always provide authentic sources. Sometimes they make up, they create, they invent, the citations and they code them. Okay, and right, plagiarism, we already know, using somebody else's works without acknowledging them. All right. So there are some examples here on the screen: plagiarized example and the correct example. So these are the different type of patterns we see in a plagiarized text. These are considered some of the examples or categories within plagiarism. One is absence of attribution. Absence of attribution. So they do not originally, they do not mention the original theorist or the source. You see on the screen, the affective filter hypothesis suggests that emotional variables create a barrier to language learning. Okay, this is a well-known quotation. If you are from ELE background, we already know affective filter Krashen's affective filter hypothesis. Okay, but somebody else has already talked about it. Krashen himself, in his book, he talked about it. So this is plagiarized. Why is it plagiarized? You see the correct example, which is next to it. Okay, because it is not in inverted commas. Okay, and the theorist or the writer who has written this is not mentioned, and the year of publication is also not mentioned. Towards the in the right side, the correct example, we see all of this included. According to Krashen, 1982, the affective filter hypothesis suggests that emotional variables create a barrier to language learning. Okay, so this is how we should properly cite the source. Next, unauthorized use of source material. This is second pattern or second type of plagiarism, is unauthorized use of source material. Okay, so the example is here, a student copies a research finding directly. Okay. Metacognitive awareness improves self-regulated learning by 40% in second language acquisition context. Okay. So he copied it directly. Okay. And he used in his assignment or paper. Okay. So again, the original citation, missing of, the original source is missing here. Next, the third is presentation as original work. We do not cite the source and we try to project as if or present as if it is original. Okay, so that is one more example. Okay, so you see the left side, that is the plagiarized example. Traditional standardized tests fail to capture communicative competence because they isolate linguistic components. Okay, this is already told by somebody else, a theorist. Okay, but the person who wrote this is trying to present as if he has told this. Okay, so that is one more example. And then inadequate paraphrasing. Most of the times what we do is we go through papers, research papers, and we find some ideas very interesting. And so what we do is we simply paraphrase them. Okay, if the information is written in 20 or 30 lines, we'll try to bring it down to 15 or 16 lines or 10 or 12 lines, and we try to use that material, the information in our work as if it is our original idea. Okay, so that is again considered as plagiarism. Okay, so you see that there is an example on screen. Original source, it says the critical period hypothesis proposes that language acquisition ability decreases with age, particularly after puberty, after 14 years. Okay, so this is critical period hypothesis. Right, now plagiarized version, you see a slide modified. The critical period hypothesis states that the capacity for language acquisition lessens instead of decreases. The person has used a different word, a synonymous word, lessens, with advancing age. Okay, so that is the type of modification he made, but the idea remains the same. Right, so idea is altered and slightly modified and presented as if it is original. Okay, so this is again plagiarized, and the correct version, the correct quotation is presented in the right corner. You see correct paraphrase. Lenneberg's 1967 critical period hypothesis argues that there is an option for language learning that narrows as individuals mature. Okay, so that is the right way to quote. And then we see another type of plagiarism, that is selective citation. Okay, so what is selective citation? Okay, so the student cites only a part of the work and not complete work. Okay, he just chooses to cite one or two areas or 2 or 3 ideas, but not the whole idea. So that is again incomplete or selective citation, we can say. Right, and the right kind of citation is being presented there. Okay, next we see lack of quotation marks. Always remember, our citations have to be in quotes. If you are copying something from somebody, if you are borrowing something from somebody, it has to be properly mentioned in quotes. If quotes are missing, quotation marks are missing, then it is considered as plagiarized. Okay, right. Then inconsistent or missing references. You see on the left side of the screen, we see the writer's name, but beside the writer, the year of publication is missing. Writer's name is there, but year of publication is missing. So that is incomplete. We have to write the writer name along with the year of publication. Okay, so which is missing here, right? So the correct example is, the writer's name followed by year of publication. Okay, now then comes one more type of plagiarism, that is, self-plagiarism. We'll talk about this self-plagiarism maybe in a couple of minutes. Let's move on to the next type of plagiarism, that is accidental or negligent plagiarism. Okay, so accidental or negligent plagiarism, what is it? As a part of our research, we read several books, several online resources, several research papers, and so on and so forth. And what we do is, we just copy those lines which are fitting to our research, and we make a notes. Okay, we copy all those lines into a document and we try to save it, but we forget to, mention or take the writer's name or the year of publication. And after 2 or 3 pages, or after, the work is done, and when we revisit our document, we will be unable to locate where we have taken these lines from. And so we'll just, try to present as if those lines are our original works. Okay, we have clearly studied something, but due to our improper or negligent note-taking skills, we land into this type of a plagiarism. Our intention is not to plagiarize it. Actually, we want to cite the source, but due to our negligence, we do not do it, and at last it becomes a mess. We could not locate where it has come from, and then we'll go about how it is. And so this is one more problem. Okay, next is patchwork plagiarism. Next type of plagiarism is called patchwork plagiarism. Okay, what happens with this type of plagiarism is that, students, they copy ideas or bits of pieces of ideas from several sources. Okay, maybe 4 or 5 sources. They bring those things together and patch up. Okay, this type of patchwork is also considered as plagiarism. Okay, so I hope I'm clear. Somebody please confirm if I'm audible or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so always remember, we should cite our sources, and also we should use quotation marks for every line we take or every phrase we take from the sources. Okay, even if we want to paraphrase, there's nothing wrong, we can paraphrase, but we have to mention, the source clearly beside, the paraphrase content. Okay, and always try to keep a detailed notes during the research process. Okay, if you have a doubt whether the line which you are mentioning or lines which you are mentioning in your work is your original or you have copied from some other source, if you have that type of a doubt, it is better you omit those words or sentences, or delete those lines from your text. Okay, right. So these are some things which we need to remember. Okay, now day by day technology is advancing and new tools are coming up. Earlier, people thought that, now that chat GPT has come, we can create a number of papers. Okay, what happened with chat GPT was, in the initial stages, people were able to escape plagiarism. Okay, because it was AI generated text. It was all AI generated text. So they were able to escape plagiarism. these plagiarist tools, what they do is, they try to cross check with the repositories, the available data online, to see whether this work is original or not. So this ChatGPT is an AI tool which could, produce sentences considering several sources and give an output, and we can, safely. I'm telling about the initial days. We were able to safely, bypass that plagiarism test. We were able to come through those tests, plagiarism detection tests. Slowly, with the advancement of technology, people started using AI detection softwares also. Students are bypassing, or students were able to get through those plagiarism softwares. So, software people, they started working and they came up with, this technology, the counter technology, which could detect AI. Nowadays, even Turnitin is detecting AI. Maybe 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago, Turnitin did not have this feature of detecting AI. Turnitin was only used for plagiarism detection by the institutes. But now Turnitin also has included this feature, advanced feature, which could detect AI also. I mean, AI generated text also. Now that has become a problem. Okay. So whatever we are trying to do, okay, whether intentionally or unintentionally, it has to go through this strict, checkposts, and then, only then we can able to publish. And there is one more problem with this AI, written works. Today, if something is detected as zero AI, if your article is detected zero today, zero AI or zero plagiarism today, maybe after 2 months, when the article is still under review, after 2 months, if it is again, put to test, it could turn out to be 30% or 40% plagiarized or AI. It can happen because technology is developing day by day. So best thing is, we should be honest, and it is better always to, properly cite these sources in our works. Okay, and there are many instances, professors, students who publish their thesis and then articles in very reputed standard Scopus Index journals. They are facing problems now, because in those days, when they sent those papers to them, the technology was not so advanced. Technology could not detect the plagiarism or AI part. But now that, technology has advanced, the old crimes, old sins are again taken into account, and people are being sued in different parts of the world. So it is always better, to be honest, okay, in our writing. Okay. So how people detect plagiarism? Okay. So there are some on screen. Okay, some of the ways are listed on the screen. One is manual detection. We all know peer review process. Okay, people, they'll go through, some people, they literally go through our works and they'll find out easily whether they are from original, whether they are written originally by us or copied from some source and presented as if it is original. So people can, human beings can easily detect. That is one. Okay, and there are automated systems. Okay, there are many AI tools now, advanced tools which run on algorithms and which could easily detect these things. Okay, and then database search. When the document is uploaded, it will search that data against the available repositories online, and then it will be easily found. And there are many other ways. Okay, so there are two core detection mechanisms. One is extrinsic detection, and the other one is intrinsic detection. So these are the basic two type of detecting plagiarism or AI. Okay, so what is an extrinsic plagiarism detecting system? What is an extrinsic plagiarism detection system? Okay, so I'll take 1 minute here. I'll stop here for maybe 1 minute and to take questions or queries. Need any clarification about what we have discussed so far? Please unmute yourself and let me know. Okay. Okay. If you don't have, let me quickly take you through these 10 types of common patterns which we see usually. Once again, briefly. So absence of attribution, first type. So what does it mean? It means there is no clear mention about the original author, the source, or the date. Okay. So in-text citations will be missing. We don't see in-text citation. That means citation which has to be inside the text. Okay. So this is the absence of attribution. Second one is unauthorized use of source material. Okay, which means using somebody else's ideas or somebody else's data without permission. Okay, so this violates intellectual property rights. We already know. So that is the second type. And third type is presentation as original work, which means claiming ownership of somebody else's ideas. Claiming ownership of somebody else's ideas. Okay, and it is kind of stealing somebody else's creative ideas, right? And then we already know inadequate paraphrasing. Okay, inadequate paraphrasing, I already told you, which means slightly changing few words. Okay, the original sentence remains the same structure will be there, but you only change a few words in the sentence. Okay, and we keep the same original idea as it is, we just change the words. Okay, so we just replace the words with synonyms, or we try to reword the sentence, simultaneously keeping the idea as it is. Okay, so that is the fourth type. Next one is selective citation. Okay, selective citation means citing some sources but avoiding other sources. See, there is a limit for citations also. In thesis and in articles, citations should not go beyond a certain limit. Otherwise, entire paper or entire thesis will be full of citations. So there should be some original work. Okay, so if you just put inverted commas in the starting of the chapter and end the quotes at the end of the chapter, it will be detected as
So voice is not audible.
hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Can somebody tell me when it went mute? 2-3 minutes or
Pardon,
5
sir?
minutes? So I didn't know, ma'am, when it got muted. Could you please let me know when it was?
No,
Maybe
you
two-
said
That's before
selective
2-3 minutes,
citation,
sir.
sir. Just selective citation, sir. It's all.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Okay, so selective citations is citing some sources but omitting others. Citing only primary sources and hiding the sources. Okay, so in technical terms, it is called as cherry picking. Okay, so we try to hide, the ideas which we borrowed from others. So this is called selective citation. And the sixth type is lack of quotation marks. All right, so I already told you that every citation we want to mention, it has to be in quotation marks, otherwise it will be considered as plagiarized text. Okay, so next is inconsistent or missing references. Okay, so this is a major problem, most of us do. We have so many resources which are mentioned in the reference list or bibliography at the last, but they do not appear in the original text, or the original text has some quotations but they do not appear in bibliography or the reference column. Okay, so this is inconsistent or missing references. Okay, and there is one more example on the screen. We see Vygotsky in the brackets, but the year of publication is not mentioned. I already told you this. Okay, so this is inconsistent or missing references. Okay, and then self plagiarism, I told you that I would explain you later. Okay, accidental plagiarism means, I told you already that it is not intentional but accidental. That means we do not have proper note taking skills. We unintentionally copy certain things from other sources and forget where we have borrowed those things from, and unable to track the sources during the research. Okay, and so we send the document as it is and it will be detected as plagiarism. Okay, right, and then finally patchwork. Okay, what the word itself clearly explains the meaning of what it means. It means combining multiple sources, several sources without proper citations. We pick 3-4 ideas from different sources and we bring them together. We do not integrate them properly. Okay, and even the quotations are not properly mentioned. Okay, so it will actually create a kind of a collage. It appears as if it is a collage. It doesn't appear a text which has a linear progression of ideas. Rather, it appears disconnected, or it appears like a collage. Okay, so that is patchwork plagiarism. Right. So next we'll move on to these two broad categories. Okay, core detection mechanisms. One is extrinsic. Okay, the word itself suggests that it is something external, and intrinsic, something which is internal. Right. So these are plagiarism detection systems: extrinsic detection system and intrinsic detection system, which has its own mechanism of detecting, which have their own mechanism of detecting plagiarism in the text. Okay, let us see how these actually work. Okay, so extrinsic plagiarism systems, what they do is they detect plagiarism by comparing the submitted document or thesis to external reference sources such as websites or databases or books or articles. Okay, or the existing repositories. Okay, and they try to match the segments, between the uploaded document and also the genuine document. Okay, this is how they identify source material. They try to pick the segments from the uploaded document and try to match those segments with the repositories, with the databases, websites, books or articles, whatever. Yeah. Okay, and this is how they'll identify the whether the document is plagiarized or not. Okay, so there are different ways of how it detects plagiarism. Some softwares, they detect reference wise. Okay, when we use some references, in text references, it actually checks it with the sources to see whether it is properly cited or not, whether it is true or not, whether the citation which we have mentioned exists or not. Okay, so this is what it does. Okay, and after it identifies, it highlights those lines. I hope you have already seen some plagiarism reports. Okay, so what these popular extrinsic softwares do is they highlight those lines which are plagiarized. Okay, some popular extrinsic softwares are Turnitin. You already know Turnitin. All the popular institutions, universities are using Turnitin these days. And there is one more popular, and I think UGC also has recommended this software. It's called Authenticate. Turnitin, Authenticate, and Urkund. Turnitin, Authenticate, and Urkund. These three are considered as standard, extrinsic softwares. Okay, there are other software plagiarism checkers also, like FlagScan or Unicheck or Copyscape. Okay, so these are some of the examples of extrinsic softwares, extrinsic plagiarism detection softwares. Okay, so overall, what they do is, these extrinsic plagiarism detection softwares, they try to match the content. They try to match the content to external sources. In order to detect whether it is copied or whether it was patch written or whether it is a duplicate submission. Okay, so it checks across institutions and website sources and gives the report. Okay,
Sir, once again repeat the tools, sir. Sir, once again repeat these tools, what you said now, please.
Sure, madam. Ma'am, one is Turnitin. Turn it in. TURNITIN. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Second one is Authenticate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
ITHENTICATE. And third one is Urkund. 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 Fourth one, Copyscape. Fourth one is Copyscape.
Okay,
Fifth one is FlagScan.
Okay, sir.
And sixth one, Unicheck.
Okay, sir.
Unicheck. Okay. So the first three are considered as standard, extrinsic plagiarism detection softwares, Turnitin, Authenticate, and Urkund. The others are also used by institutions, but not as extensively as the first three. Okay. Now, I already told you how these things work, these extrinsic softwares. Okay, let me explain you further. See, they have existing repositories. For example, Turnitin has lot of data stored in its repositories across the world. Okay, so what this software does is, it compares the sequence of words or characters from the submitted document. It identifies the sequence or words from the document which we submitted and checks it with the available sources online, with its database online. Okay, then it highlights the exact matches or near matches and some common phrases. That is why in Turnitin, plagiarism detection, we see lines in different colors. Okay, some are exact matches, some are near matches, and some are some common phrases. Okay, so this is how they work. Okay, extrinsic PDS softwares. PDS means plagiarism detection softwares. Okay, next they also work on numerical principles. Okay, so they try to identify the proportion of matching content between the documents. Okay, that is why we see 10% similarity or 25% similarity. Okay, so proportion wise they also identify proportion wise similarity. Okay, so and then there are some advanced tools, plagiarism detection tools, which use natural language processing in order to detect paraphrasing or patch writing, or there is one more form of plagiarism. It's called disguised plagiarism. We'll see about it in a couple of minutes. Okay, so they try to identify this paraphrasing or patch writing or disguised, okay, with a technique called natural language processing. Okay, what they do during this process is they try to analyze sentence structures, okay, meanings, and also synonyms to spot whether it is originally written or rewritten without properly attributing it to the original source. Okay, so this is how it detects. Okay, and then it also tries to this software, it also tries to examine the person's writing style. We all have our own style of writing. We all have our own type of syntax we use in the or word frequencies or the grammar we use. We differ individually, right? So it tries to identify individual writing style. Okay, and then what happens is it tries to detect if there is any sudden change in tone or style. Okay, so if the entire document is in the same style and with the same syntax and word frequency and grammar, there is no problem. But if there is a sudden change in tone or style, it can signal that it is the section could be plagiarized. So that is how it looks. It looks for the tone and style. Okay, and then I already told you that it tries to compare the cited sources from our text with the actual reference materials. Okay, actual reference materials. Okay, and if there is something which do not exist or something which is fabricated or some misrepresented source, immediately it flags as plagiarized. Okay, so there is one more technique which these softwares use. They use technique machine learning techniques. Okay, right. It means it looks for unnatural sentence constructions. Human beings, we have our own way of speaking. Yeah, and AI has its own style of writing. Okay, so there will be a mismatch. So it will look for it. So it will look for unnatural sentence constructions, or it will look for repetitive phrasings. Okay, so which are actually usually found in AI generated text, and then it will flag it as AI detected or plagiarized. Okay, so this is the extrinsic software systems plagiarism detection systems and how they work. Now let's talk about the other category, other type, intrinsic detection systems. Okay, intrinsic detection system. I hope you understood about the extrinsic part. Somebody please confirm so that we'll move on to intrinsic. Okay, so thank you. So intrinsic, as the word itself suggests, that it is something internal. Okay, so it requires no references. Okay, I mean, usually this is not the regular type of detecting anything, but when somebody files some case against somebody, then the document will be taken into this type of consideration for intrinsic detection. Okay, so otherwise, all the papers or thesis or documents, whatever we write, they do not go to this level. Okay, the second level. So the second level intrinsic is quite depth. Okay, so what it does is, instead of comparing it with external databases, it tries to check at idea level. It tries to check at idea level. Okay, so it tries to analyze the writing style and the textual characteristics within the document. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so it will look for inconsistent vocabulary or inconsistency in writing style or sentence structures or punctuation usage or inconsistency in the grammar. Okay, we all know that when you try to convert a plagiarized document with some tools, what happens is, it tries to add some hashtag symbols or comma symbols or full stop symbols or inappropriate spaces between the words. Okay, and this is how it makes it sure that it doesn't it won't be identified in plagiarism softwares. But what happens is, this in this advanced type of search, it can easily identify. It looks for inappropriate punctuation. Okay, that is how it identifies. Okay, right. Further, this intrinsic detection softwares, they also tries to look for the features like average sentence length or average word frequency or average syntactic patterns. Okay, so there is some average sentence length which we actually use in sentences. AI tools are very perfect. If that if the document is full of perfection, okay, then it can be easily identified as AI. We human beings, we do not count words when we write sentences. Some sentences could be lengthy, some sentences could be short. Okay, but AI is very perfect. It doesn't make this type of mistake. So that is how the original content can be cross-checked with AI content. Okay, so it tracks, this intrinsic detection software. It tracks this average sentence lengths and word frequencies and syntax patterns. Okay, right. This is how it detects. And there is one more method. It also tries to generate, profile, author's profile. Okay, author's profile means it has some data already about us, our documents within its repositories. So it checks, it checks for that, style or whatever we already mentioned, and then it tries to flag any sections which diverge from the, the author's established profile or the style of writing. Okay, and it also tries to identify some embedded sentences or phrases from others writers if there are any. Okay, so this type of detection is actually used when the document has no external sources to compare with directly. And if there is a case like it has a case stating that it is plagiarized, and if that document has no direct connection or direct comparison with an external source, then the evaluators, they'll get into this type of method, intrinsic method. Okay, looking at the document itself and trying to find the inconsistencies. Okay, so this is the type of detection system, intrinsic detection system. Okay, right. So it has got its own advantages and disadvantages. Intrinsic software system. Yeah, advantages, it can identify, okay, ghost writing or AI written passages, okay, which are mixed with human authored texts. Okay, it can identify paraphrasing, or it can identify disguised plagiarism also. Okay, and it can be very helpful when there is an authorship dispute. Okay, in a research context. So these are some advantages. Okay, but there are some limitations for this intrinsic type of detection. These are less effective for small documents, short documents. These are suitable for large documents because idea level type of a detection, it requires lengthy documents. Okay, so it is not very suitable for short documents. Sometimes this type of results can produce some false positives, because sometimes authors can intentionally change their style to give a special effect, especially when it comes to fiction. Okay, so sometimes it can give false reports. Okay, the only thing is it works better when the author's style is consistent. Okay, and when the author has a unique style of writing and it is consistent over or throughout all the texts, all the writings he wrote. Okay, only then it could be effective. So it has got its own demerits. Right, there are some popular intrinsic software detection softwares. They are JPLAG. One is JPLAG. Second one is stylometry software. Stylometry, as the word itself suggests, it identifies or analyzes writing style features, okay, such as word frequency, sentence length, grammar, and so on and so forth. Okay, even Turnitin software, which we already mentioned in the extrinsic software detection category, it also has this stylometric features. Okay, it is also integrated into this Turnitin. Okay, and there is one more software called WriteCheck. Okay, and there is one more software called Forensic Linguistic Suites. Right. So this is about the basic extrinsic and intrinsic type of software detection. I mean plagiarism detection mechanisms. Right. Let's move on to next technique, fingerprinting. It's called fingerprinting. Am I clear? Somebody please let me know. Unmute yourself and let me know.
Yes, sir. You're clear. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are clear, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, let's move ahead. What is fingerprinting? Okay, so what it does is, once the document is uploaded, it tries to break it into sequences of short sentences or phrases. Okay, so it breaks the sentences into segments, small segments, and then it gives codes. Okay, code 1, 2, 3, and 4, so on and so forth. Okay, see, for example, we have in the picture, 3 sentences in 3 blocks. So this is a sentence, is the first sentence. Okay, so the software has given it the code 01. Now the second sentence says, oh, this is another sentence. It's a different sentence, so it has given it a code 02. Now there we see another sentence. This is a sentence. The third sentence says this is a sentence. Now third sentence is directly a match with first sentence. Now what does the software do? It will give the same code to the third sentence also. Okay, this is a sentence and this is a sentence is repeated twice. Okay, so this is how it analyzes. Now this will be checked with the database, with the repository online, and this is how it evaluates. Okay, so it will allow this software to rapidly compare this type of similarity with the large databases across the world in its repositories. Okay, so the problem with this is, the advantage is speed. It quickly detects if something is plagiarized, but the disadvantage is, it will detect text even for minor wording. I mean, see, we usually use certain sentences the same, as examples. For example, this is a sentence is given on the screen. That itself is an example. Now, this is a sentence can be used by n number of people across the world. And if n number of people use the same sentence across the world, though our intention is not to plagiarize it, it could be identified as plagiarized. Okay, so these usual sentences or normal sentences or the usually worded sentences, regularly occurring sentences can also be identified as plagiarized. Okay, so but the advantage is, it will help us find literal copying or patch writing. Okay, so this is a technique called fingerprinting. Okay, and yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. And others, please mute your audio.
Sir, please mute.
Yes, I have done it. Sir, please, you unmute it. Peter, sir. Peter, sir, please unmute your audio, sir.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, right. So let's move ahead. So what it does is, usually it captures, it takes 5 words as a segment or sequence and considers it as a small fragment. Then it compares this fragment with the available data. Okay, so when compared, if it reveals that there is some overlap between data from 2 or 3 different sources, then it will flag it. Okay, so that is fingerprinting. Okay, so I'll give you an example. See, the first sentence, original document, says the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That is the sentence there. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now let us see how it breaks it into sentences or sequences. segments. First one is the quick brown. Okay, first segment is the quick brown. Now second segment doesn't start with fox jumps over, but instead it takes the second and third word along with it. Okay, if you could see properly, see the quick brown is the first segment. Second segment has quick and brown repeated. Okay, and it took one new word into consideration, that is fox. Okay, and now the third segment, we see brown fox jumps. Brown fox jumps. Okay, brown and fox are taken further, and a new word is included. So this is how this is segmented. Right now, after segmenting it, what it does is it gives codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so forth. Okay, now after that, what happens is in its language, it will be represented in the form of coded numbers. That is the fourth level. Okay, now these codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 2, 1, 2, 3 or something like that. These codes will be cross-checked with other documents. Already those are also coded. So now these numbers are compared. Okay, now if there is a similarity in these codes, these numbers, then it will flag it. Okay, let me repeat it once again for your better understanding. Just the whole sentence is there, then it breaks the sentence into small segments, but the style of segment is little different here. Okay, so every time it is taking two words from this previous sentence and adding a new word. That is how the segmentation happens, and then each of these segments have been numbered, okay, or coded, and these codes are cross-checked with the available data sources online. Okay, and if the codes match, then it is considered as plagiarized. Okay, right. So this is about fingerprinting technique. Okay, next we have vector space models. Vector space models. Okay, now this is slightly different from fingerprinting. Okay, so what happens here is that each document will be broken into words, or the other in this software it is called as n-grams. Instead of segments, we call this as n-grams. Okay, so again what happens is it will look for the correlation between or similarity between ideas. Okay, so what happens is, for example, you see a you see a sentence like the cat sat on mat. Okay, so cat sat on mat. Okay, so that is one sentence, and in the second sentence, the dog sat on mat or dog sat on rug. Okay, so now what happens is the rest of the sentence same almost, except the cat and dog thing. Okay, or you can change the sentence pattern. The cat sat on the mat, instead of that you can reverse the sentence. Okay, or the dog sat on the rug. This cannot be passivized, but if it is if it is possible in some sentences, we can cleverly bring words, we can passivize this voice and try to manage to maintain the same idea in the paragraph. Okay, that can also be detected. That is the problem here. Okay, because words are looked by their frequency in this software. Okay, whether you inverse it or whether you directly use it. Okay, so this software, what it does is, it uses some mathematical functions. Okay, to calculate, the distance between the words or distance between or the distance between paragraphs, or how close these words are, or how similar these two documents look. Okay, is there any partial copying which is beyond the match? They look for all these things. Okay, and that is how it flags. Okay, right. The advantages is that it can detect paraphrasing or partial copying. Okay, and it can handle large documents effectively in a very less time. Okay, but there are some limitations, some demerits. Okay, it is again sensitive to some common words. Okay, right. So this is about vector space models. Right. Turnitin uses this type of model. Turnitin software. Okay, it uses vector space model. All right. Next is non-textual feature analysis. Okay, non-textual feature analysis. Okay, so this modern type of softwares, all the softwares which we see now, they have moved beyond word comparisons, or they have moved beyond the sentence comparisons. Okay, so now they are in a level of being able to identify the authorship patterns, or it could also identify if there is anything manipulated. Okay, now how does this do how does this type of softwares work? Okay, they look for when the file was created and when it was modified, what was the date. Okay, these softwares, they look for author information and edit history. That is why it is advised to be very careful with these AI tools. Don't directly copy from AI. Everything will be recorded. Okay, so be careful. So author's information and edit history can be saved and can be identified. Okay, and formatting patterns. It looks for formatting patterns like font changes. Okay, spacing. I already told you. The AI generated text gives us a different font, and if you do not change it, if you don't identify it, and it also sometimes gives different spacings. If you do not identify them, we'll be easily caught. I mean, if you are using AI, there are some standard journals which actually allows AI to some extent only if you acknowledge that you have used AI. Okay, but if you do not acknowledge that you have used AI, okay, and if it detects font changes and spacing differences, your work will be flagged as AI or plagiarized. Okay, right. It also looks for layout differences. Okay, hidden formatting tags. There are some hidden formatting tags. Okay, when you copy something from AI and into the document, we can't see those tags attached to those sentences but those tags will be identified by this software. So that is why it is advised to look and type manually instead of copying it directly from the AI and pasting in our document. It is better to type manually in the document, because there will be some hidden formatting tags which will be attached along with this AI tools. I mean AI generated text from the AI tools. Okay, right. I already told you that words and punctuation frequencies should also be taken care of. Okay, typing patterns will also be checked. Okay, and cutting and pasting behaviors. Okay, if you cut something, cut from somewhere or copy from somewhere and paste, okay, that can also be identified. Okay, it can be identified. See, these tools are becoming more and more efficient day by day, and they could detect anything. Okay, so instead of doing copying something from somewhere, it is better to think about it and have your own interpretation and write or type manually. Okay, so everything can be detected, even if you reuse some images, tables or charts, some codes from somewhere, and if you do not acknowledge the source, main source, it will be detected. Okay, and right. I hope I'm clear now. Somebody please unmute yourself and let me know. We'll move ahead.
Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So yeah. So this is becoming more and more complicated day by day. Okay. So my advice, sincere advice is, to do something, originally. I mean, be honest, authentic. Okay, and don't try to copy anything from anywhere. And even if you try to copy, if not today, someday in the future, so you will be identified, you will be detected, and then it becomes an issue. Okay, so if we are trying to borrow some ideas from somewhere or copy some ideas from somewhere, let us better mention the source so that we won't be in trouble in the future. Okay, right. So we all know that UGC has come up with these regulations in 2018 itself. Okay, so which says promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher education institutions. It's a regulation which came out in 2018. Okay, so it aims at more aware and integrity driven conduct for academicians who are indulging in any research or academic writing. Okay, so there are some provisions given by UGC. Okay, one is all quoted works reproduced with all necessary permissions or attributions should not be considered as plagiarized. That is one provision it gives. If you are quoting the work or reproducing the work with proper permissions or attributions, then your work is not considered as plagiarized. That is one. Second one is, if you are mentioning proper references, bibliography, table of content, preface, and if you are acknowledging, then you are safe. Okay, and it also has given some exemptions to some generic terms. Okay, some laws, some standard symbols, and standard equations, because these are repeatedly used in every work. So there is some exception for these symbols, okay, and generic terms and standard equations, okay, formulas, right? There are some exceptions. Okay, now see, if the plagiarism is detected in between 10 to 40, sorry, up to 10. If it is detected up to 10, no penalty. In fact, most of the universities in India, they are okay with below 10 type of below 10 plagiarism. Okay, beyond 10 it is not acceptable in majority of the universities. Okay, so no penalty as per UGC. If it is below 10, it is considered as level 0. Okay, but if it is up in between 10 to 40, if it is in between 10% to 40%, then it is considered as level 1. Okay, so what happens is you will be advised to resubmit, okay, within 6 months. Within 6 months you have to rewrite or rework on your thesis and then submit the thesis. Okay. Or if it is research publications or academic publications, then you have to immediately withdraw the manuscript. Okay, so that is the rule. If it is level 2 means plagiarism from 40% to 60%. If plagiarism goes beyond 40% and within 60, then it is considered as level 2 of offense. Okay, so what happens is, student will be debarred from submitting the revised script for a year. 1 year, student will not be allowed to submit the script again. So student have to wait for 1 complete year if he wants to submit again. Okay, so 1 year punishment. Right. So if it is academic publications, this candidate will be immediately asked to withdraw the manuscript. Okay, and he will also be losing some additional privileges. He will be denied a right to 1 annual increment. Okay, and along with that, we will not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new masters, MPhils or PhD or student scholars for a period of 2 years. For a period of 2 years, the candidate will not have the eligibility to guide, okay, any MPhil students or PhD students or masters students. He cannot be a supervisor. Okay, if the plagiarism is detected in between 40 to 60% for academic and research publications. All supervisors, they go for publications, but in the publications, if it is detected between 40 to 60, he loses supervisorship for 2 years. That is the point here. Okay, and there is level 3. If it is more than 60%, okay, so if it is a student and who submitted his thesis, the registration will be cancelled. His registration will be cancelled. Okay, and if it is a publication, I mean academic or research publication, the candidate will be asked to withdraw the manuscript and will be detained a right to 2 annual increments in succession. Okay, if a professor is caught, he will not get 2 annual increments. Okay, along with that, he will not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new masters, MPhil or PhD students for a period of 3 years. So he'll lose his supervisorship for 3 years and 2 annual increments also. Okay, so these are the punishments. Okay, so we should be very careful with these things. Okay, all right, so that's all about the general understanding about plagiarism. We in this series of these talks in this workshop, we have some other sessions on plagiarism also. They'll also help us with the additional knowledge in this area, and they will possibly tell us explain us how to overcome plagiarism. As for me, I would suggest that use some proper referencing tools like Mendeley. There is one proper referencing tool, Mendeley. So install it in your laptops or PCs, and it will give you proper referencing and citations, and a better, try to be original in your works, and there is no other way, no shortcut. Okay, if you are trying to do something, okay, don't copy from AI tools or internet. Okay, there will be some hidden tags. So what you have to do is you have to interpret it. You might slightly change the idea in your own words, adding your own views into it. Okay, bring in your own research or your ideas into it, and then type manually. Okay, so better you type manually. That is how you can escape the tagging, right? And that properly maintain notes systematically. From the beginning, if you could maintain notes and the references, you won't fall into problems. Okay, so this is how we can overcome plagiarism and AI detection. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you may ask me.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
How many articles a research scholar has to publish before he submit his thesis? Is it mandatory according to UGC? And in which kind of journals we have to publish our papers? What is mandatory according to UGC? Why these universities are imposing that we have to publish in Scopus Journal or some others? Is it according to UGC? They have autonomy?
As per new, yeah, sir. Okay, as per the new guidelines of UGC, it is not mandatory for us to have any publications in any articles. Earlier, they have scrapped the idea of UGC care listed journals. Okay, so now you don't have to publish in UGC care listed journals. Neither you have to publish in any journals in that matter. Okay, you can directly submit your thesis and it can be awarded. But some universities are pressurizing students, which is against the policy or rules of UGC. Okay, so you can talk with your supervisor about this, and if they agree, you can directly publish it. Yeah, I hope I have answered your questions.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions, please? Yeah. Some universities are forcing them to actually publish in Scopus. It is not mandatory as per UGC guidelines, but they are under pressures. These people, they have finished writing their thesis, but because they could not publish in any of those Scopus journals, their thesis is on hold. So, which is actually against the guidelines prescribed by UGC. Yeah.
Any queries? Okay. Peter, sir, thank you very much for a clear and insightful session on plagiarism and ethical writing. Your practical examples ranging from copy-paste, minor edits, paraphrasing, quotation, and common knowledge help us to truly understand what constitutes plagiarism. Sir, your explanation of plagiarism patterns, integrity tips, and advanced detection methods in some softwares like Turnitin, Urkund, etc. was extremely useful. The way you simplified concepts like extrinsic and intrinsic mechanisms, fingerprinting, and vector space models, comprehensive detection framework made the session highly engaging and easy to follow. We sincerely appreciate your guidance in helping us do research and write research papers or thesis responsibly and ethically. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of International Intensive Thesis Writing Workshop coordinators, organizing team, and the colleges which are actually hosted. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, madam, for calling me. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you, Rahimuddin sir and the entire team. Thank you for calling me. Okay.
It's
Thank you,
our
sir.
privilege,
Thank you very
sir.
much.
Now we'll move to next session. I hope Dr. Ganesh sir is there. Yeah, yes, sir. Please wait for a moment, sir. Yeah, yes. Okay, now Ganesh sir is there. Sir, please share your PPT, sir. Dr. Ganesh Nagaraj, sir. Okay.
I'll share my
And-
whole window
Yeah,
so that
it's open, sir. Yes, sir. Now I'll actually, I'll do formality, sir. Please allow me do, sir. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Our second session today is led by Dr. Ganesh Nagaraj Chilke, Assistant Professor at the School of Social Sciences and Languages and Assistant Director of the Faculty Development Center at VIT Chennai. Dr. Ganesh academic expertise spans a wide and rich spectrum: comparative literature, disability studies, gender studies, film studies, regional Indian literatures, and translation studies. His scholarship reflects depth, diversity, and a strong humanistic orientation. He holds an MPhil in comparative literature from the University of Hyderabad and completed his PhD in comparative literature from IITWW, Hyderabad. With 6 years of dedicated teaching experience, he has contributed significantly to academic growth and interdisciplinary learning. Dr. Ganesh is also a published author, with his book and research papers appearing in Scopus Index journals. Today, he will guide us through an emerging AI tools in the research ecosystem and show us how to navigate these powerful digital landscape with clarity and purpose. Sir, we are honored to have you with us. The session is now yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Now, since Peter sir has already talked about plagiarism, and the next session is about AI tools and how do we use AI tools in research writing. So, I think it is better that I use a disclaimer that I am not going to push that we should use AI tools for writing. The same that how do I write or how is my writing? For that, we shouldn't or I shouldn't force or talk about that part. But rather, the whole discussion or the whole lecture will be on how do we use research of AI tools for making our research easier. That is a basic purpose of this lecture, or the basic ideas behind this lecture. So there are multiple AI tools, and we are all aware of all these tools. So what I'm going to do, I will just take you through some of the tools and maybe a hands-on training for these tools also. So I remember this was during my PhD in my days, and we had a professor called Narsampet. And in his lectures, he used to always talk about some examples. And one of the examples was that during 1960s or 70s, he used to come to. Hello? Okay. So
I will mute it, sir. I'll
Okay,
mute
thank
it.
So what example here that he used to give is that he was working in Hyderabad University, and he used to come to EFL University just to copy by handwriting the original text of, let's say, Shakespeare or some other text which are not available anywhere. So comparing these 4 or 5 or 6 decades of time, what happened earlier and what is happening now, there's a huge gap or huge development. And with advent of technology, we have reached a very another level of researching. So, of course, the very critical or central part of the research is, of course, the critical thinking and the thinking per se, or the very crux of research writing is the thinking, and the whole part of critical or creative or imagination. Those things comes into picture. Now, at this moment, so we are using AI extensively. And if I just request the participants, how many of you use AI? Could you please just raise your hands or show me thumbs up if you use AI for research or for your teaching? Maybe someone could just say thumbs up or just raise hands or something. And I'm sure most of us use AI tools for research or as well as writing or teaching also. And that is quite common at this moment. And we cannot also deny that that we should not use AI for our research or teaching, isn't it? So let me just go through some of the stats. And recently in published articles, it is mentioned or said that around 76% of researchers only, they use AI tools for writing. The sense that maybe writing or using it as a extension, using it as like a tool that they brainstorm, get data, then cross check, and then it goes on and on, isn't it? So why do we use AI tools, and what is the necessity of using AI tools, or should we completely ban it from the academia, which is very highly impossible? So AI tools will of course make our work a bit easier, maybe by let's say 4%, or as the stats say, it's like for more than 3 or 4%, our work becomes more easier and easier. And what happens is that in AI tools, we get some sort of a help. So let's make it very clear that AI is our assistant, and not we are the assistant of AI. So I think usually in some of the lectures that we used to hear from Ashok sir of EFW, he used to say the position should not possess you. That is the thing that anything that for that matter, mobile phone also. Same thing happens with AI tool also. So that is a position that I am having, but the position should not possess me. So similarly, that AI should not take over my critical thinking, and should not take over my writing or my unique way of authorial style, isn't it? Because all of us, when we write something, it could be as simple as a message, or as deep as a very a dense research paper. In any of this writing style, each one of us have a very unique style of writing. The syntax, or could be sentences, maybe could be choices of words, and all these things. And that's what makes it writing. Now, if you give the same task to all the AIs, now it began with ChatGPT, and it before that it began with chatbot. A chatbot later changed into bigger things like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, or Copilot, and so on and so forth. Now, if you give a prompt to each of these chatbot, like AI tools or chatbots or other platforms, and give a same prompt, write the same style, copy paste on all the platforms, but the answers will be almost similar on the level of syntax, on the level of, let's say, the choices of words. Now that becomes problem. What the Peter sir said earlier about plagiarism.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
So there is an echo from your. There is an echo from your side, sir. Could you please check your mic?
Is it better now, sir?
Yeah, now it's clear, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, so the AI, we should not give it totally for writing. We should use it only as an extension, and that is what the purpose of AI in research. Of course, all of us that the unique style matters, and that's why we should not use AI at all. And same thing that if you give up the same prompt to all the platforms, AI platforms, they will have a similar style of syntax and vocabulary also, isn't it? Now that is issue. That is a problem. So what do we use AI for then? In that case, the AI tool is used basically for some points and or some critical areas of a research paper or research writing, and some of them are literature review, or you can use AI as writing assistance, or we can use AI for data analysis. This is the part I think we should use further, because in this data, how do we analyze data matters more. So this is a very critical part, data analysis. Then citation management also is very essential, and summarization or paraphrasing, that is the secondary or the last one. So if you see the stats or the poll, how much AI is being used for particular area of research writing. For literature review is highly used. And that is a critical part where we have to read a lot. We have to go through or skim and scan through multiple literatures of any varieties, and that is a part AI is used highly. Later for writing assistance, and followed by data analysis and citation management, and that is how the AI is being used extensively at this moment. Now, so I'll go one by one, and I'll just focus on some of the AI tools, and I'll show you the sites. So I might take some more time to show you the sites and how does it work and all these things. So let's go to Elicit. Elicit is one of the literature review manager or literature review assistants that you can get help from. So let me just go to the website. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the website, Elicit, AI Personality Research and those are. So you can just give some prompts here. I think it will take you to that. Usually some keywords and all these things, this sign up is required. But how it works, Elicit, you give a keyword or a prompt, and then it will take you to, let's say, it will find out articles along with summary, and anything to do with also some quotations also. Maybe an article with some quotation or article with summary, which is very close to what prompt you have given or what areas that you have given. In that areas, it works really well. The next one is the Semantic Scholar. Semantic Scholar is one of the best tool that you can use for the literature review, and which is also user friendly and has large database. So I'll just type my area here for time being. And it loads multiple articles, and you can sort it out. You have a multiple options to filter your preferences. Field of study, which field of study you want to just go through. Maybe education, psychology, sociology, all these things. I'll just directly jump into education, and then it will filter only the articles which are around this area. It will just show that those things. Has PDF. Those articles which have free access, those articles will be available here. So has PDF, and authors, you can also just quickly go through authors. So which authors you want to just quickly have a look at, and it goes on and goes on. And then journals or conferences. So which journals article you want to see. So basically I'll just give this one, Journal of Learning Disabilities, and only those articles will be available for me now here. So, and if I say click on has PDF, so now this is how it works. Now I can click on any article. It has a PDF and all the details of a journal and all the details for my citation. So this is the very good source AI tool that we can use for writing literature review. And maybe if I could just click on this thing, I will be taken to the next part. So that is how Semantic Scholar work. And this is usually free. There is no pricing, or there is no charges for this article, this website, or this AI tool, which is very good one. So this is called Semantic Scholar, and this is recently gaining popularity because of its filters, and filters are usually the good one because it gives multiple filters of from disciplines to authors to having PDF or not having PDF. So all these things are here along with citation. So we could quickly use this site and get the citation. So whichever way you want. So MLA, APA, or BibTeX or Chicago, and all these things is available here. So you can also use this one. But of course, we have to always cross check. Is this the article? And ideally, what I suggest is that to go to the journal website and see if this article has a proper citation, or is it matching with the same article. The details, maybe the author's name or the volume or the page numbers, is it matching with a real article on the website? So that is always we have to just cross check once in a while, just to avoid any issues, because sometimes, rarely, AI also will have errors in that. So always better to cross check. So this is the Semantic Scholar tool that we can use for our writing or writing a literature review. Further, of course, the Google Scholar and advanced Google Scholar also we have, which we can use for research writing. Along with Semantic Scholar, Research Rabbit is also very interesting because it gives you the mind map or mind tree of what is being said in a particular PDF, what is being said in particular article or a book. It gives a complete mind map, a complete notes of particular PDF or particular article or book. That becomes easier to just quickly skim and scan and find out what exactly do I want from that article. So lit maps and research rabbits are really good one. Along with that, we have consensus. So let me go further. So this was about only AI tools for literature review and discovery. So this is highly used, and I recommend Semantic Scholar because this is very user friendly. And Elicit is used only for to get summary of article, summary or some quotations if you want. You can get it from Elicit. So Elicit, what you can do, you can quickly refer. And one good thing about Elicit is that it quickly connects to. It will give you only very closest articles or books. It doesn't give you very random. So if I give a very proper prompt, let's say if I say something on disability in India, so only those articles which talks about disability in India will be given as a summary and all these things. So that is how the Elicit works. Along with that, also we can also use it for citation and all these things. So further, this is about literature review. Further, what we can do is about AI tools for data analysis. Now, this is something interesting part. So in humanities, and I'm assuming in this workshop, we have participants from across the disciplines. So major, what we use for social sciences is SPSS, if I want to analyze any data. Or I use Jamio, is currently a popular one, and now recently gaining popularity is that JMB Pro. But before that also we can use ChatGPT. So if I have a data with me of any variety, that I can use ChatGPT to analyze, or maybe I can use it for summarizing or creating tables, or I can use for creating graphs or charts and all these things. I can use ChatGPT. But again, that depends on, are you using the paid version of ChatGPT? Because after a point, it doesn't really help you. So if you bombard ChatGPT for a whole day, ultimately it will say, thank you, I'll see you tomorrow. So if you have paid version, of course, it will help you out with large data. If you have a large data with you, data sets with you, it will help you if it is a paid version. So same thing goes with Julius AI also. So this is the one Julius AI, and I just randomly added some of my data here. So what I did, I just recently I had a quiz with my students, and then I wanted some graphs of which question was easier for student and which question was difficult for them. So I just give the data into this Julius, and this is the graph that I got. So how many students had difficulty in particular question? So the last one has like they had more number of students could not really answer this question correctly. So this is how the graph I get in Julius AI. So here also we have options of adding multiple files and creating the data or analyzing data to level. Also, you can also have here we can have use a prompt. You can also attach files, and further few more things are here. Again, there are also prices for this one. Pricing is again attached to this Julius AI. So paid version will of course will have a different let's say different outputs, and then non-paid version usually has less one. So this is Julius AI. Now later, what happens is that if you want to use you have data, let's say from ELT, English language teaching, or from linguistics, or from social sciences, or from medicine, or any other or translation studies, or any other cultural studies. So if you, or psychology also for that matter. So if you have data from these different fields, and if you want to use let's say a software, or if you want to use some tool to analyze the data, so these are the very useful tools, the JMP Pro and SSP. And Jameo and JASP, these are also good one, but I'll just quickly take you through JMP Pro first. So this is the JMP Pro, this software. If you just see my screen, and here the data is already loaded here. So I have data with me. So that is now here we have tools, multiple options are here. So if I want to analyze, in analyze option, I have multiple options here. So I can use it for predictive modeling, or I can use it for screening or clustering, or I can use it for quality and process. And each of these things will have other options too. So depending on my requirement, I can use this one. This is also widely used for t-test that we have in ELT or social sciences, or ANOVA test. ANOVA test or t-test, you can use this software. This is a free software. You can download this software, and it has also, this software also, if you go to website, they have tutorial videos which you can watch and then learn how to use this software for multiple purposes. And it's very user friendly, free of cost, and it gives you the output very quickly and clearly. So these are some examples you can see here. So here also we have DOE, and if you want to have tools and windows and so many things, along with this also, this gives you code for in Python language. So if you want to use a code, and that code you want to use in some other platform, so that also you can get it from JMP Pro. So here is a code for Python, I think. So Python code, you can get it from here. So a new Python code script here, you can generate your Python's code script here. So this is a JMP Pro, very useful for analyzing any sorts of data. So along with that, we also have a SPSS. SPSS is usually just a moment. Okay. So this is the basic. Now again, this is a paid version. So you have to buy this version of SPSS, and usually you will have. This is also used extensively in social sciences to analyze the data. So here we have some tutorials with videos. So what all things can I use it for? So here SSP is used for statistics data files and Excel data and text file. All these things are here, and you can use it for analyzing all sorts of data from humanities and social sciences. However, you should be aware of how do I use this SPSS. Again, of course, you can again go to the YouTube, or you have tutorials here mentioned here. So case studies, curated help or references, or all these things it is mentioned. You can just quickly go through it, or you can go to YouTube and quickly find some videos on how do I use SPSS. But again, this is a paid version. I mean, you have to have a paid version to use this SPSS software. Okay, now this is about some of the software tools or softwares which you can use for your data analysis. Jameo and JASP, these are the new additions, or a few other software tools which you can use for your data analysis. Now, t-test and ANOVA test are quite common in multiple fields. So for this test, you can use this JMP Pro or SPSS. the very basic difference between this JMP Pro and SPS is that JMP Pro is free and SPS is it's a paid version. So that is the major thing. And then both of these softwares are user friendly, and even anyone from non-engineering background or non-technical background can use these softwares. Okay, so further. Now coming to the next part of the lecture, it is about how do I use my AI tools for writing and editing assistance in research. Now, connecting to what Peter said earlier in the earlier lecture about plagiarism. If you use, now this is the recent development. This has happened recently, I think this last few months only. So we have had a habit of using Grammarly a lot, Grammarly, or we use Quillbot a lot. And now if I use Quillbot or if I use a Grammarly a lot, that also shows AI content. Even if I use Grammarly just to change a word, or if I check only for grammar or a few typo errors or anything, even for that matter, that Grammarly usage of Grammarly and usage of Quillbot, a paraphrasing tool or even a rewriting tool, that will show that you have used AI, and that becomes another problem then. Because in multiple universities, if it shows AI content, then the authenticity and ethical concerns will arise. And that's why I think all of us should avoid using any AI tool for writing. Writing strictly we have to avoid. Now, what you can do for writing is basically you do this thing. You give a prompt, you understand, you comprehend, you read, and then you jump into writing on your own style. Like what earlier Peter said, you have to write in your own style or in your own simple Word document file. You read a lot. You read in your PaperPal, or you read Genie AI, you read ChatGPT or any other AI platforms. That is okay. But then you should have a proper citation and you should write it or type it out in your own Word document file. So I'll just quickly give a sample of PaperPal. So PaperPal. How do I minimize this? Okay. This is PaperPal. So in PaperPal, what you can do, you can have multiple options. So here I can have a chat PDF. So I can use a file and use it for creating a nice mind map or multiple questions and with answers, so that I can understand any file. So here I just quickly copied again AI content only, nothing much. So I just copied pasted a small essay on the role of AI tools in modern research. So here we have option of edit in PaperPal. We have option of rewrite. We have option of even write also here, and cite also. Here it also gives citations. If you search or if you ask question or if you give a DOI, it will also add those things in citation. But again, if you take it directly from here and copy paste in another Word document file and then give it for plagiarism check, of course it will show as AI content. So we have some templates also here and check. So if you want to check plagiarism check, how close it is or how AI is used, or does it show AI content? So all these things options are available here in PaperPal. Again, PaperPal is also paid version and non-paid version. So non-paid version gives you very limited access, and paid version gives you more access to write, to edit, and to have a chat PDF and all these things. So this is about PaperPal. Further, we have Genie AI. Genie AI again is used for writing research a lot, but I think compared to Genie AI, PaperPal is much better. And I'll directly jump into Notebook LM. Now, can someone like how many of the participants use Notebook LM? Any idea? Can you just give me thumbs up or raise your hand or something so that I can Notebook LM? Okay, some of us use Notebook LM. Now this is very powerful tool. As a teacher, we should always just quickly go through this one and see how does it work. So this is a Notebook LM. This is a page of Notebook LM. So I have logged in through my account. So I have already used this for my course. So reading comprehension to maybe get some more clarity of questions and to get more cues about how do I create question paper or how do I create activities more interesting. So that I have used this for. Now this is the notebook LM page, and if I want to create something new, so this is how it will come. So here I can use Google Workspace, I can use links, I can upload files, I can use photos or anything that I can use, I can upload here. So this is the portion which I can use. So for time being, what I do, I will just quickly add some maybe a file or YouTube links. Okay, let's quickly take one any video that talks about AI tools. The very basic idea behind this thing is that just to show you how does it work. So YouTube link, YouTube, I'll work paste the URL and then that's all. Right, go ahead with this thing. Now this will do the magic later. So here, I can use this thing to get a transcript of this video. I can use as a flashcards. I can make a quiz. I can use mind map, or also I can have a audio overview in the sense that I will give a command to maybe change the languages, or also I can use this for having a dialogue. So the AI will come as two people will come and then they'll have a dialogue between two members depend on this script or this video. And this is goes on. So here I can add any number of resources. I can add here a web page, or I can add here PDF files or YouTube links or anything that I can use, even pictures, but has to be very clear or legible to the AI. So all this data I can put here, and this is not limited. It can go as long as. But very good thing is that you should not bombard on a notebook LM with multiple data, because it will again get confused. So if I want to read one article, just put one article and then go further. So here it will generate mind map. If I want to generate mind map or reports or video overview or quiz and flashcards. So and here at the bottom, I can give some prompts or some questions I can ask, and this will quickly will answer. So this is mind map. So mind map, even this mind map, I can copy it or download from this option. So I can download and use it in my PPTs, or I can use this thing in my maybe for students and all these things. So this is how it is segregating. So AI tools for research paper writing 26 and future AI tools 3, and it goes on paper pal, Jenny and UMO. And again, if I go to next part, so here, so it goes simultaneously. And all the parts I can click, and it will give in this other side, the left hand side corner, it gives the other information. So this is how this mind map works. Right. So this is how the notebook LM works. So to level, I can also add here PDF. If I want to add PDF here, so I'm just going to add any random PDF from my file. Just a moment, I'm just putting some value. And this is a very bigger book, Cambridge Handbook. So Cambridge Handbooks for Language Teachers, Bugby, Michael, and other authors are here. So if I want to again use this thing, now in number of books I can use, and then I can go ahead. So if I want to remove this one, I can also remove this part from here. Remove source, and now I'm just with one source only. That is my PDF file. Now that AI tool, that YouTube video has gone, and only I have this one with me. So this is how I can keep on updating, or I can keep on changing the sources, and I can play with this one. Now, what is the point of doing this one? So basically, this is a brainstorming. So I do brainstorming with all the AI to understand the topic, or to get a knack of what is happening, and then start writing. Once you have the clarity of thought, once you have the clarity of idea, what exactly am I doing? And then it is easier for you to understand and write. That is how it works. All right. So All right. So coming back from Notebook LM, now this this tool, Notebook LM, can be used for research and any other thing, maybe teaching or researching or writing, all these things. But however, we are going to be very careful that we should not use it again, copy paste the same thing into a Word file and then send it. That will, of course, is going to be cause lots of issue, from ethical issues to plagiarism issues and all these things. So this is basically one tool for brainstorming, which will be very useful for writing, in the sense that I can upload a PDF of 1,000 pages and then get quick mind map or quick recap of what exactly is required for my research. I can go to that part and then read only that section and then use that section as my part, or as a let's say a part of literature review, or putting it as an intake citation with a proper citation, and that can be easier. So it makes your work easier. So no need to go to a hard copy of an article or a book or a paper and then find out what exactly is required for my research. That part, that kind time becomes reduced. So basically, in AI tools, what is happening is that it is reducing your time to a very great extent, so that you can focus more and more on again further research. So this is one few of the tools that you can use: Paperfall, Genie AI, and Notebook LM. There are further also, but then these are the good ones that I thought I can share this with you. So now coming to another critical part of citation. So citation, of course, is very essential, and without citation, your writing becomes, let's say, almost like a plagiarized one. So citation matters a lot, and for that, Zotero and Mendeley, these are the very two good options which you can use for citation. So a cite is also another one that you can use: Cite, Zotero, and Mendeley. So these three options you can use for your writing. Just a moment, I think I have used Cite here. Cite I have used here. So Cite, one good thing about Cite or this website is that, as you can see on my screen, here you can just quickly give a prompt. And I gave one prompt on disability, and this is what it gave me. It gave me a write-up. Along with that, it gave me a citation. So here I'll go to a particular article and see, is this very close to my article? If it is close to my article, then of course I'm going to use this thing in my writing. So here I'll read the text or the content. I'll go to the article and then see, is it matching, and then is it really helpful for my article? And then I'll take this article as my, let's say, a part of my literature review, or part of my, let's say, intake citation, or some part anywhere in my writing of a research. So this is one option that you can use for Cite. There's also another option of Zotero. This is again a software. You have to install it, again, paid and non-paid version. So I have uploaded some of the PDF files, and here it gives some of the details. So again, I haven't used this thing in detail, so you can just quickly go through this Zotero and see how do you use this one. So here we have details of all the on the book, what exactly is the edition and the year and all these things. So here, from here also, you can use this thing as a citation. Here you have your own books. So your book section, document, article, all this thing will come here. All sorts of literature, from magazine to letter to interview or scripts or even film, all these things you can add here in Zotero. So this is a software. This is a paid version again. So similarly, Mendeley is also another version that you can use for your citation. Or simply, as you're all aware, the best way is to start with Google Scholar. Check if that book is there. So you can take a step like this. You have an article with you, go to Google Scholar, check the website, and go to the general website, check if that article is available for a PDF. Some of the libraries that we have or we are working with, they have access to some of the journals. Download that article and see. If it is really useful, then use Chat PDF, then use Notebook LM or Perplexity or other tools to understand what is the article all about, and is it really helpful for my research. Now, among all AI tools that are there in the market or that are there available online, so ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Copilot or Gemini, Perplexity seems to be better for research because even if you give a prompt, a very simple prompt on writing a research article or research question or anything to do with research, it gives you some write-up along with some sort of a citation. So what you can do, you can just quickly read that is given in the answer and click on that citation and go to that particular website or a article or a journal article or a book and then see, is it matching and then is it really useful for me? So through that also you can use you can go through the original link of the source. So Perplexity is comparatively better for research writing. And of course, if you have a ChatGPT paid version, that was a good one. Okay, so this is about citation and reference management. Now, the issue comes with ethical concerns, accuracy, and verification, and all these things. That is happening recently. Now, as as time goes further, and then the advent of technology and all these things, what is happening is that all the softwares are getting updates like anything. So earlier we only had Urkund as a very a standard software for checking plagiarism. Then came Turnitin, and we have further few more softwares which will assess or check the plagiarism. And again, these softwares, what they have done, they have made some updates so that they can check the AI. So how much AI is being used in the writing. Now, what earlier Peter talked about, when you put some writing in AI of any software, it checks multiple things, from your script to style to tone to all these things it will check, and that's how it will check, is it really is it used in AI. And as I said earlier, so all AI tools will have a particular syntax, a particular language of writing that is easy to detect. There is no uniqueness in any writing. But all AI tools will have a similar syntax, similar vocab, similar style. So that is how it is easier for any plagiarism checker to quickly assess and get to core of it. So that's why we should not use AI tools, any AI tools for writing at all, because that some way it gives a way of killing your own creativity or critical thinking. So rather, we have to use it as a Jarvis. Jarvis, the example of Iron Man from Iron Man movie. So Jarvis was a helper or a extension of the Iron Man, and it helped him in his research. That is how we have to use all AI tools as our Jarvis. You have to question them, you have to ask them, you have to talk to them. You have to find out. You have to find out what all things can be done with AI tools. We have to almost talk to them. Now, AI tools are becoming essential, and at the same time, it is going to, of course, cause this. This is the transition time from one to another, and these concerns will be raised. These ideas will be raised. So, can AI become author? That is one really good article I think I read recently by Martin Mapot. So, and they clearly said that AI cannot be author at any cost, because the rules and regulations and the norms that publishing company has, all these things AI cannot fit into. So that's why AI cannot be an author. But however, there was another news recent, I think last 1 month or 2 months back, that someone had mentioned AI as a second author. AI was second author in not so popular publication, but they had mentioned that thing also. So now, how do we go ahead from here? Or what is going to happen further? Let's say after 5 years or 10 years, how AI is going to work, and especially in context of research writing. So how is it going to work? How is it going to function? So again, so what is going to happen is that along with AI, there will be another counter AI mechanism will come, or there will be counter further developed software checks will come for AI detection. Now, of course, if I give if I take a write up from ChatGPT and then I go to another website and I ask it to humanize it, it will change, but not all things will be changed, right? Isn't it? So similarly, what is going to happen after 5 years or 10 years is that the further development will be so concrete that new softwares will be developed only for AI content. So how do you develop or how do you detect AI writing? But we should not use AI for writing. We should use it only as our helper, as our extension, as our let's say a friend or assistant, and seek more and more help to question, to get answers, to brainstorm, to see to what level can I think about it, isn't it? Sometimes we need, let's say, earlier a decade back, or even in this decade also, what we do is to discuss our research article, research ideas with our friends. So what we used to brainstorm. Similarly, the same thing you can do with your AI tool also. And of course, the plagiarism is a high or a bigger concern when it comes to AI or usage of AI in research writing. So at any cost, we have to stop or we have to not use AI for writing. We have to use it only for brainstorming, questioning, getting more and more answers, reading, comprehending, and understanding. That is how the AI should be always used. Again, there are multiple disparities, and then what version are you using and what is happening. All these things are here. There is also human oversight. So the human judgment also matters a lot when you write any research or when you write any research article or a book or anything. So the human touch always matters a lot. Further, so what will happen in, let's say, 5, 6, or 10 years in the future of AI? What possible things might change? So AI is going to help a lot or extensively in cross disciplinary collaboration. Sometimes even this thing, there are multiple articles or literature available in, let's say, Japanese language, or let's say a Spanish or French or some other languages. That content in particular language will be easily given to anyone else in required language. If I want that one book or one article from French, or so I will uh, uh, have options. What if this kind of right? Like I said, uh, if you don't need it, then it shouldn't that you and feel not to think it the thing is what it will try that you are
And the topic
So
or
yeah. Using I to pay is them it to go comes oops that the
um,
so we have like good state.
Example, I could teach for yeah, in which sir,
How big the um which it from and probably uh did with or about the document of is
it but the big is there's a from the
thing or it or the put up got uh good or that
thank you. Uh, uh, do you like this?
your institution, how is the policy? So maybe if you have a available Turnitin is there with you in your institution, you can use it for chapters. So that is like, how work is done. So you can give a chapter check how much is the plagiarism report, check the report, and then work again on it. But one thing we have to do always, when we submit any thesis or an article or a chapter in Turnitin or Urkund or any other platform, a paid platform, we have to make sure that they do not store it in their database. So there are options to untick. So they will say to save it or not to save it. So we have to say for at least initial stage not to save it, because if that article or chapter or thesis is saved, and again if the same article or chapter or thesis is uploaded for a plagiarism check, it shows again the plagiarism. So that we have to take care of.
You're
While
mentioning
uploading
about
the file.
yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
And you're mentioning about the plagiarism softwares will be available with the institutions that where we are pursuing the a PhD.
Yes, yes.
How can we avail them, sir? Like our guide provides them, or the institution itself gives the researchers this access?
No, usually you can through guide. Guides will have access. Either guides will have access, or school will have access. School or guide. For example, if you belong to a particular school in your university or college, they will have that access, or a guide will have access, so they can upload that thing. It depends on place to place. In our place, we have a school will have access. So our school secretaries will do the work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I'm a literature scholar. I'm doing research on translation work, sir. I little confused.
Working with translation. Okay.
Yes, sir, translation. Yeah, work which is originally from Tamil literature. Now it is a translation in English. That translator work I took for research. So, what are the things I should always say while doing the research on translation?
Okay, how many books are you taking from English to Tamil to English? How many books are translated?
4, sir.
4. Okay, so first of all, you read both articles, both the versions. If you can read, can you read Tamil also?
Yes, sir.
So if that is the case, you read both versions. Read the original in Tamil and read in translation, and see is there a drastic disparity. One thing. Second, check what all things the translator has worked upon, or what all things he has done. Maybe slight modifications here and there. That thing, and then see how the context, how the language, and how things are changing into translation from original translation, and then accordingly you can develop your research questions and start writing. What is your area? I mean, what are you doing in translation studies?
Sir, my topic is cultural conflicts.
Okay.
Cultural conflicts in the novels of P. Sivahami.
Okay. That's fine, ma'am. You can just see how conflict is getting translated, and then you can go ahead with that. You can develop your own research questions. But it will be good to read original and also the translation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, I have a question. If I use Zotario or Mendeley, what is the exact usage, sir? It's a software, I understood, but how to use it?
Initially you have. Yeah, ma'am, Zotero, I did not use that much, but this is the Zotero, if you can see. So from here, you have to just download the software and then go to this website and then upload the files here. We have multiple options here. So we have to upload the files. You can also upload the DOI numbers or book or documents. And then further, you can check it. So I did not really use Zotero that much, but you will get multiple options online to see how to use Zotero. This is a website. This is the one that I'm showing you now. This is the one. We have multiple tools here. My publication will come here. So if you have any publications, that also you can hide, and any duplicate or unfiltered items will come here. So I did not file these things. So we have to first file and then go ahead.
So after I type my content into the chapters, then I have to look into this Soterio and Mendeley, sir.
Yes, yes. So what you can do while writing, you can use Mendeley or Zotero for citations. So all your citations will be stored here. You can use whenever you want.
Should I install it
Here-
before I start my chapter, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank
you. Simple. You can go to something like this, semantic scholar, and if you have the article and if you have the PDF copy, you can go and see site. And here we have MLA is here, AP is here, and Shikata is here. So whichever one you want. For example, we usually in English we use MLA, so I'll just copy this thing and then use it in my references. But at the same time, I'll give a proper citation in text citation. I have to check that thing. That's how we have to do. This is one. So if not, very simple, very plain, that you can do is that you can go to Google Scholar. Google Scholar. And here you can use, this can be your, so again, I'll type my topic here, disability. And then I'll get a number of books. And here we have option of site. So MLA, AP, all these things I can check here. And if it's something very relevant to me, I'll again go to the website and check, is it very close? So the website is mentioned here and all things will be covered. So Google Scholar is also another very useful thing that you can use for your research. Along with semantic scholar. Now, this is the article that I have now that has come to. Is open article? I think not open. Paid version.
So one
Yes,
more
ma'am.
doubt. Whenever I'm not so familiar with this computers, but whenever we press any for source for any article, accept the cookies will come, no sir. If we accept it, no, continuously their ads will go on. Commit is disturbing.
right.
Can we avoid it?
Yes, ma'am. You can sometimes cookies can avoid because it will show, it will disturb you, or sometimes in some websites it will even if you reject it, nothing will happen. So you can, in some cases you can reject. In some cases, if you reject, they won't give access. So that is the issue. So
Yes, sir.
usually some good journals, for example, if I go to Springer, if they say that cookies, you can reject it and then again access it. In some journals, they will say use cookies. So that is okay. It won't be problematic. But we have to be cautious. Is the website authentic or not? Sometimes there should not be any issues of phishing and all these things.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, this is Naresh
Sir.
again. Which platform would you suggest as to write the thesis? Is it Google Docs or MS?
Google Docs is good, sir.
MS.
Google Docs is really good if you are having a multiple authors. So, for example, I'm assume that I'm working with some scholar from abroad or some scholar from Delhi or Hyderabad. In that case, Google Doc is very useful because all of us can check. All of us can add into that. For that, Google Doc is really good. If it is alone, then you can use your Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word, there won't be any difference, no, sir. Like this is online accessible thing, no, sir.
No difference. Same thing. Same thing. It will be same thing. Just that it will be online. It will be in laptop.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You can also upload a Word document in Google Doc. If you write one article in one Microsoft file, Microsoft Doc, and then same file you can upload in Google Doc also. No issues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
I have one doubt.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I
Yes, ma'am.
audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Is it mandatory to declare a specific percentage of AI usage for specific area like literature review or for writing while submitting a research article?
There's no requirement. Usually, all journalists will say that we should avoid the usage of AI, or there shouldn't be AI content in our writing. So that is they are very clear about. But then again, that comes into under something called plagiarism. So how much plagiarism that we can afford? That I think Sir has talked in the last slide. Last speaker Peter Sir has talked about it. So preferably, we should avoid any AI content in our writing. At any cost, we should avoid AI content, even if it is 1%, 2%, 3%. We should avoid it. There is no allowed percentage of AI content in our writing.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, sir, you suggested us that when it comes to ELT research, usage of
Yes, ma'am.
AI, it's not going to be so much, or it's not going to contribute so much, like how it's going to do for literature. So could you suggest me something which could help me to find the best models for the ELT researches, AI tools that would suggest us to get a apt models for ELT research?
ELT research, ma'am, I'm not very well versed in that, but this is one you can use a lot for ELT research. This is a software. And what we do in ELT, we collect data from students. Maybe we have a task, maybe vocabulary or listening or some speaking we have. Then we take at one point data, and then again we cross-check after a point. And in that case, we have lots of data with us. To analyze that data, this is a good software now, JMP Pro. So you can use that software. But again, this is you have to see lots of videos of this one to get used to the software to use it in a very better way. So it
So this
finds
is called
finds
JMP,
meanings.
sir?
JMP Pro. This is the, if you can see here, J for Jharkhand, M for
JMP,
Madhya
student
Pradesh.
registration.
Yes, so
JMP
this
Pro.
is now I'm using this 18th one, so you can use it online.
Thank
If
you,
you go
sir.
to YouTube or if you go to their website, JMP website, they have videos analyzing data from ELT.
Thank you so much, sir.
So t-test and ANOVA test can be done in this software.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, plagiarism and AI, I got clarity, sir. But what about humanizers, sir? Humanizers.
Humanizer, yes, ma'am. Again, Humanizer is also again it is online platforms, so they also have its own. They also have their own limitations. So what does Humanizer do? So basically, they change the wording. They change they find synonyms. That's all that's what they do. But Humanizer, the big issue with Humanizer is that it will change the meaning. It will change the context. So we cannot use that for a long time, and the ideas also will change a lot, because sometimes some synonyms they have changed, or antonyms they are used, or they have changed the syntax. The meaning, of course, is going to change a lot. So Humanizer is not going to help in any way in the writing. But again, along with, if you see on the line of plagiarism and then this thing plagiarism line, any paid very good quality plagiarism checker is there, and they will detect this is AI content, because again it is coming from online platforms. So there is an inbuilt syntax is there. So it will be easily detected by this one, that the Turnitin in our own search platforms.
Okay, sir. Sir, then one more. When we use, is it great help to use Grammarly while we were writing, sir?
No, I think this happened recently only. One of the scholars from our university. So she submitted her thesis, and her thesis has nothing to do with AI or anything. She wrote on her own, but she used Grammarly for correcting. So proofreading, she has used Grammarly, and it is showing AI content. So these days, even Grammarly, if you use a bit more, it shows AI content, because again the syntax will be very AI syntax. So that is the reason we should avoid Grammarly also.
Okay.
But a very plain thing you can use, maybe just to find the errors. Find the errors in Grammarly, correct on your own. That you can do. But if you accept what grammar is suggesting, in that case, that becomes AI content. I hope this is clear now.
Sir, is there any tool which will be helpful to remove plagiarism, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Typing on our own in the Word document file. I'm kidding. There isn't any software that to remove plagiarism. We have to just
Yes,
go
sir.
manually. We have to go to upload the data, upload the article in, turn it in, find the report, see what report says, and accordingly you work on your paper or chapter or thesis.
We have to do it manually.
Yes, ma'am. There is nothing called like easy way to find the plagiarism and remove the plagiarism. You have to go to turn it in, get a report, and then on that report you have to work on.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, for example, I have quoted some information from the novel or some other research scholars, sir. Whether I should go with a single quotation or a double quotation, sir?
Again, that depends on which citation style are you following. If it is MLA, APA, Chicago, depending on that, you have to use it, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, could you help me to demonstrate using the app site again, sir? I couldn't understand well.
Site, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Site is basically like your ChatGPT, ma'am. So if you have this one, so it is almost like ChatGPT, and you put a prompt here, it comes. Or if not, you can again, but that is again pricing. You have to, the paid version will be different. So for example, I go to a basic thing here. I'm here at
we
the
are
site, a
having,
very basic site.
it's not a
Can you
free
see
one,
this thing?
sir.
No, this is a free version, but we also have a pricing. So here you have pricing. So 882 monthly you have to pay to get the site subscription.
Okay, sir.
So here we have assistant, we have search, and we have tables. So here I give a prompt or something, and then it takes me to some later pages. So it's almost like a ChatGPT, but if you get a paid version, it is a different one.
It's like
Hope
an
you are
AI
able to see my
only,
screen.
not for.
It's like AI.
Okay, sir. Not for using any other reference or citation.
You can use it for citation also. So you can use it for citation. Mostly it is used for citation, but more than site, you can use this Mendeley or Zotero. So Mendeley is also a good one.
Okay.
So I didn't really open the Mendeley site, but this is also a good one. This one, Mendeley.
Okay, sir.
Zotero or Mendeley is a good one. I think even Peter sir also mentioned about Mendeley. So this you can just quickly just go through it now. Any
So
other
for the
questions, ma'am?
IEEE, only one question, sir.
Issue, ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
Actually, nearly 200 pages I'm having the thesis, but the thing is, reference how to do it in the style of IEEE, sir.
For IEEE references, you have to just go manually, ma'am. You have to see the referencing style of IEEE. But
You have to do
usually, I
it
think in
manually for the whole.
but as you write, so best way of citation is that the moment you start writing and then you cite, you should cite it there and then keep a citation in another file. So which becomes easier. Endnotes. So you can use as a endnotes or some. There's also one tool called endnotes in which you can keep on adding your citations. So best practice for writing research or writing a thesis is that you start writing, and then if you have a citation at the same time, keep the citation at the end. At the last moment, we won't find any citation. We will have a tough time to get our citations done. So best way is the moment I write a passage and I have referred to an article or a paper or a book, and I use that into my that paragraph. At the same time, I should use it at the end and keep a proper citation. In any
we
style,
type?
could be IEEE. Yes, ma'am. Could be IEEE, could be
Should we type it
MLA, could be APA.
Should we type it manually, sir? 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, then throughout the whole thesis, or is there any software simply will do all such things?
There will be softwares, ma'am, but I'm not really sure about IEEE. I didn't really work on that.
Okay.
But of course, I'm sure that there will be some softwares will be there.
Okay, sir.
Sir, Ganesh sir, I have a doubt. Even if we use this paid version, no sir, paid version of ChatGPT 4 or other things also, it's plagiarism only, no sir?
Yes, ma'am. It is plagiarism only. Yeah. If you take the content from there, so the difference between paid and unpaid version of this ChatGPT is that in a paid version you get more access and the data will be more, and your answers will be it will come from large data. So how does this AI work? So AI is what do I give a metaphor? It's like a big box. Big box is there in that we have added multiple candies or some things, and if I want something, it creates one candy and gives it to me, but it is only from that box. So it is from data. What data ChatGPT has, from that data only it will give. Initially, the beginning stage of ChatGPT, it did not answer anything about World War I or World War II because that data was not there in that their database. So it's all about data. What data is available with ChatGPT? So a paid version will have more access to data, and unpaid version will have less version access to the data. But again, you cannot use that in our writing. So it is just basically brainstorming. A best example is the Jarvis from Iron Man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, excuse me. After listening
Yes, sir.
to
Yes,
you, I'm very happy, but I think, is there any kind of research, sir, without literature review, everything on own, not looking at AI and all, not taking assistance, everything? Can we write anything on our own, totally, without referring
yes,
to
sir,
anything? Is
It's
there any
called
kind of
essay,
such
sir.
research?
So my argument is that we should not use AI for writing. So I give a prompt to ChatGPT. ChatGPT writes introduction, and that I use it in my paper. That should not be happening. But rather, I can use ChatGPT for how do I make my introduction more effective? How do I make my introduction of a so-and-so article? How do I structure it? How do I have outline? What all points shall I add? What all points shall I skip? So this brainstorming I can do with AI tools. So it's very clear-cut demarcation that I should not give a prompt to ChatGPT, and that prompt will give an answer, and that answer cannot be a part of my research writing. That demarcation is there. So what we can do, we can ask multiple questions. You can ask multiple questions, understand, and then go and write on our own.
As you said, this Grammarly, Quillbot, and checking for grammatical accuracy. For that also, ChatGPT paid version or free version, Grammarly, Quillbot, these are all not at all advisable.
No, Grammarly is a free. Grammarly is free. Quillbot is also free. So, but what I give you an example is that if you accept a lot of suggestions given by Grammarly, again that is becoming AI content these days. So you see Grammarly suggestions, it will show the red line. It is not correct one. You read that sentence again and then see what is the error and then restructure it. That is better one.
Instead, we can see in our Word also, sir. Instead of going all
That
this,
also
we can see in
comes,
our
yeah.
Word.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
okay.
it comes in our Word
It's
also.
fine.
That's okay. In Grammarly,
No,
it's a little
word
advanced. Maybe it shows in grammar it is a bit advanced. It shows the usage of prepositions or articles or a grammar or sentence structure or ambiguous sentence. That is shows in Grammarly. So that is a bit advanced than word doc. So you can just quickly see Grammarly what errors it is showing, and then see is it really helpful or is it really necessary? Because not all AI tools will be very to be
Otherwise,
honest, trustworthy. It will have some issue.
It will be better to use our word only, and we have to put our own effort.
Yes, exactly.
That's
And
enough.
brainstorm a lot with AI tools, and use AI tool for literature review. Use AI tools for citations.
But if our English is very simple,
yeah,
how can we make it as a standardized one as per the expectations of Scopus?
There is for beginners or very beginning thing, you can just refer to something called academic word list. Academic word list is
Academic
AWL. Word list. So
Okay,
you read those word list, and it has a lengthy word list. So what is it does basically? So we have a spoken English, and we have colloquial English, and we have academic English. So in research writing, we usually or should use academic English. So in that case, these words will be very helpful. So you can refine your writing. So in refining, these academic words will help you, and then maybe a syntax can help you, and then the voices. So in research writing, it is said that you can use. Now in India, we have a habit of using passive voice a lot in our thesis or research writing. But however, in Europe, so they do not use passive voice that much. They want active voice. So active voice can be a part of introduction. Passive voice can be part of introduction, but remaining part should be active voice in Europe. In India, we usually largely use passive voice. So such things you can be careful so that your writing becomes more refined. And you can use thesaurus.com or any other tools to see or check, can I change this word in the sentence? How do I make this sentence better? That you can check.
Okay, sir. We are not supposed to rely on any other AI tools for writing standardized English.
Yeah, because again, that if I write a passage on my own and then I give it to AI content, AI platforms, and I give a prompt saying that refine this this passage into academic language, and I give a proper lengthy prompt, it will give me a passage, a very refined, very clear cut, very nice with nice words, very jargons, academic words, all these things will come. But again, that becomes AI content.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I think if not further questions, shall we wind up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Ganesh, sir, for an incredible, insightful, forward-looking session on mapping the new frontiers, AI tools in the research ecosystem. Your clear reminder that AI should never replace a researcher's critical thinking, but rather support it, set the perfect foundation for the session. You explained how AI tools are transforming the research workflow, beginning with literature review tools such as Elicit, Semantic Scholar, etc., showing how they help filter, locate, and even download relevant articles free of cost with user-friendly interfaces. Your demo of AI-based data analysis tools like ChatGPT, IBM SPSS help participants understand how these platforms can support quantitative and qualitative research. Equally valuable was your coverage of writing and editing assistants such as Paperpal, ChatGPT, Notebook LM, etc., which can refine academic writing when used responsibly. Your explanation of citation and reference managers like Mendeley and Jotaro, along with practical demonstrations, gave participants a clear roadmap for managing sources effectively. You also address the challenges and considerations associated with AI, like issue of accuracy, access disparity, ethical concerns, etc., which are really, indispensable need for human oversight. Your closing message, like responsible AI adoption, requires balancing innovation with rigorous quality control and ethical considerations, was especially powerful and timely. Thank you, sir, for a rich, practical, and thought-provoking session and mentoring, and which really equipped us to use AI wisely and ethically in our research journeys.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you all for your patiently listening to all the sessions, all the lecture. Thank you so much. And I hope this has some takeaways for you or for all of us. Thank you so much.
Sir, I would like to wind up this one. I would like to give a thanking note. As we close today's session, let us carry forward the insights, clarity, and motivation we have gained. Thank you to our brilliant resource persons and our enthusiastic participants for making the day meaningful. Let us continue this journey of learning with the same spirit. See you in the next session. Wishing you a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Your presentation was engaging and informative. We have learned a lot of things today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.